Hi. Okay, so I recently took a trip to Idaho to see my sister and her 7 children, and she's such a good mom that we actually had like a couple hours of silence with all the kids home. And I was like, "What's going on? Is this normal?" She's like, "Yeah, they're just watching a movie downstairs and doing their homework." She hiding a whip I didn't see or something? But good for her. No, seriously, she's a good mom. She doesn't beat them. Okay, so but I learned after the fact that if I had called the ADA that and let them schedule my trip, that I wouldn't have had to pay the $80 bus fare. Live and learn. And I also owe the bus $10 because I didn't get the memo in time or at all until I was on the bus that I had to pay for Bella because she took up her own seat, which is true. Her crate took up a seat, but I couldn't put it horizontally. I had to put it vertically, and so then she sat on my lap for the whole trip, so well done. But that's actually not the point of today's video. The point is, one of the Lyft drivers, or one of the bus drivers, or somebody I was talking to, one of the drivers, one of the Lyft drivers explained what fibromyalgia is, because he's a med student, and he said, "This is the best explanation I've heard and why it's not considered a disability in many states. It's an exception, whereas MS is the lesions in your brain and neck and spine. So we know what it is. But fibro is, it's not this or this or this or this, and so it is fibro. So fibro is based on deduction. So that's interesting, and it's still really painful. Okay, but again, not the point. I digress. Okay, so I was chatting with one of the drivers, and all sorts of medical issues come up, because they do when you're in a wheelchair. And I mentioned that I broke my back right before I got my black belt, but not in martial arts. And of course he asked how, and I said at the daycare where I worked, one of the little girls thought it would be funny to move my feet when I was playing on the monkey bars, and I fell 6 feet straight down. So, awesome. That was cute. And he said that his sister had worked at a daycare and was trying to get one of the kids over his fear of slides, and so she was carefully climbing up the slide and then slid down and knocked her front teeth out. And that kid is still afraid of slides.